Good afternoon, class. Today for our lab exercise, we are going to take a look at the National Weather Service website. Here you can find valuable information about all kinds of weather across the United States, and this is the official weather across the United States, so this is the most important website to look at. First, let's start by going to the home page at www.weather.gov. You should be at the page that you are looking at right now on the screen. As you can see a graph of the United States broken down by counties and specific watches and warnings going on right now in those counties. If you look into Western New York, our area is white, meaning that we do not have any watches or warnings, which at this time of year is probably a good thing. Out in the Midwest, you can see we have lots of pinks and oranges. Now let's take a look down to see what the pinks and oranges mean. Okay, for the bright pink, we have a red flag warning. Now, if you wanted to get more information about that, all you have to do is click on the red flag warning, and it gives you a description about what areas are affected and for what timing this is going to be taking place. Now, this kind of meaning is for these areas are in danger of fires, so they have a high fire threat right now. The oranges and the light browns are probably going to be the high wind warning and the high wind watch. So those areas in the north central United States have high wind warnings right now. Okay, now let's take a look at the weather for Buffalo. Under your local forecast, we are going to type in Buffalo, New York. Click Go. And the screen is going to bring you to the Buffalo homepage. So as you can see right now, we have mostly cloudy skies with 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Over at the center of the screen, you're going to see different meteorological parameters that we've learned about last week in class. So right now the humidity is at 56%. We have a wind speed of 17 miles per hour with gusts up to 22 miles per hour coming from the southwest. The barometer is 12.2 millibars, so pressure seems to be rising right now. It was a little bit lower earlier today. Dew point is 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So as you can see, the dew point is pretty far from the actual temperature, so our humidity, we're not really being affected by that much right now. And visibility is at 10 miles. So the visibility is clearing up and the clouds are starting to diminish. Scrolling down, we can see we have a graphic forecast that extends from tonight through Saturday night. So we have about 4 days here, 4 days of weather. So as you can see, you're going to see the daytime temperature, nighttime temperature, an idea of what's going on in the atmosphere. So tomorrow, Wednesday, it looks like we have a 20% chance of showers, so it'll probably be mostly cloudy, but it's going to be warmer tomorrow. We have a warm front moving through, and highs are going to be around 70 degrees tomorrow. So we'll look forward to that. Tomorrow night, we have mostly cloudy skies with a low of 51. Thursday, we have a greater chance to see rain. We have 60% chance, high of 67, and also for Thursday night. Friday, our temperatures decrease pretty significantly due to a cold front going through at that time. So we have just a chance of showers passing through. And also it looks like we have a chance of showers throughout the weekend, so we'll have to keep our eye out on that. Scrolling down a little bit more, we see the text version of the forecast, except for the text version, they give us a 7-day forecast. But as you can see, we have more details through the first 4 days of the forecast, because as you go deeper into the forecast, like days 5, 6, 7, there's a little bit of uncertainty with the forecasting there, so meteorologists are kind of vague if we're not 100% positive with what's going to occur. So the text version is pretty much the same as the graphic, except it gives a little bit more detail as to precipitation amounts when there's precipitation likely. So let's scroll down a little bit more, and let's take a look at radar. So let's click on the left picture for radar and satellite images, and you're going to come up with a Buffalo, New York radar screen. I like to look at the base reflectivity. It's a little bit clearer, I guess, as far as getting the details of the different kinds of reflectivity going on. So let's click on the loop. And the image is loading. Unfortunately, we do not have a lot of activity right now, but we can see a few showers southeast of Buffalo. This is all ground clutter here in and around the city due to objects or debris getting in the way of the radar reflectivity. So that's not exactly precipitation, and you'll see that likely if you check back on this on a regular basis. So that's nothing to be concerned about. So let's go back 2 screens. And the last thing I want to show you is the weather graph, the hourly weather graph. So let's click on that. And we have a bunch of different graphs that look like line graphs starting at the top. We have temperature, dew point, and wind chill. Temperature in red, dew point in green, and wind chill in blue. You can see how the diurnal changes are occurring starting from tomorrow, Wednesday, going into early Friday morning. So you can see our temperatures overnight tonight and into tomorrow dip down into the mid-40s, with Wednesday's high of around 68 to 70. Some places inland could get up to 70. While others near the lake may stay a little bit cooler. Thursday's high, we only have a high of about 67. So temperatures are still going to be moderately warm on Thursday. Friday is where we're going to experience a little bit of a cool down after the passing of the cold front. Moving down to the next graph, we have wind and gust speeds. So as you can see from the graph, we have a purple line with our wind barbs coming out of it. And in order to tell the wind speed, we look at the knots at the bottom of the wind barb. So the longer lines represent 10 knots, while the smaller lines represent 5 knots. So as you can see, we have a little bit of an increase in wind speed around Wednesday afternoon. And then also Thursday, starting in the early morning, it looks like we have breezy conditions going on. And this graph is helpful because it gives the numerical value for every roughly 3 hours or so. So it helps out a little bit so you can find what you're looking for rather quickly. So that's all we're going to discuss today. Work on your homework, and we'll discuss more about this tomorrow after we go through our precipitation unit.